Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I would like to prepare meatballs in mushroom sauce with linguine. And it doesn't have to be pasta. You can have roasted potatoes with some garlic and maybe rosemary, salt and pepper. Or you can have different kind of vegetables together, like carrots and squash, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, parsnip, any veggie of your choice, roasted in the oven, and you can serve it with the meatballs, or even rice goes well. So the choice is yours. And if it comes to the meat, I like to use ground turkey, but you don't have to. You can use ground beef, you can use ground pork, or you can mix those two. That choice is yours. It goes well with any meat of your choice. I like turkey. For me, it's delicate and it doesn't have that specific smell that sometimes I can smell from ground pork. And before I put all the ingredients for the ground meat, for the meatballs, I like to add one thing. Usually in recipes, it states put a raw onion, just diced onion in. I don't like to put a raw onion. I like to first saute it for a little bit with garlic and then add to the meat. So that's just me. Meatballs in mushroom sauce today. Welcome to my kitchen and thank you for watching. And for the meatballs, I will need about 1.5 pounds of meat, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Parmesan cheese, which I will grate, shred, 2 eggs, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, and I have soaked bread into milk, warm milk. Once it's soft, I will squeeze the extra milk out and then put it all together with the meat. And also, like I mentioned before, have an onion and 2 cloves of garlic. I will saute first and then add to that meat. So on my pan, a little bit of butter, diced onion, and I will wait about 3-4 minutes and then add garlic, another maybe less than a minute, and then turn it off. And this will go as an ingredient for the meatballs. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. I can see the onion being more transparent, the color is changing. So time for the garlic. And another minute, and this is done. So for the meatballs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. I already put the salt in. Unless you like spicy, you can put half a teaspoon of black pepper, or maybe hot sauce. Half a teaspoon of mustard. Sometimes I like to put more. Teaspoon of soy sauce. Since I put soy sauce, I only put half a teaspoon of the Worcestershire sauce. But if you like this, instead of soy sauce, you can switch. And 2 eggs. Some Parmesan cheese, and I would say probably 1/4 of a cup. So that Parmesan cheese on the end will go into that sauce. So I still want to keep it. For the breadcrumbs, since I have about 2 rolls in here, I will just use 1/4 of a cup. Unless I had less of the bread soaked in milk, then I would use a little bit more. But I do prefer this. It makes the meatballs very soft, like melt in your mouth, especially in that sauce. Feel it. I want only the soft bread in. Just squeeze some of the milk out and then make sure that all the bread got soft. So this is my own bread, my own rolls that I'm making, that I'm using right now for the meatballs, and also the breadcrumbs. I like to dry my own bread and then shred it. It has less ingredients than the store-bought. Okay, so this is all. Okay, in addition, 1/4 of a cup of that breadcrumbs and that onion with garlic. and just mix it all. Once it's mixed, you will form the meatballs. I usually aim for about 50 grams. You don't have to weigh it, of course. It's me who is crazy about cooking, and I like to have things that are about the same size, but just use your judgment, your eyes, and make your own meatballs the size you like. I like this meat. It is so soft, so soft. On the end, when you make those meatballs, I'm telling you, in that sauce, it will melt in your mouth. Okay, now time to divide this into meatballs. And meatballs are ready to go in the oven. My oven is preheated to 350, and those will bake for about half an hour. And about 10 minutes before I need to turn off the oven, I like to cover those because I don't like the top to be burnt or very crunchy. I like the meatballs to be very soft, and this also helps bake through inside. So that's what I like to do. If you want your meatballs to be on the crunchy side, the top a little bit charcoal, then leave it the way it is. But for myself, I like the meatballs very soft, so I will cover them 10 minutes before it's time to take them out. For the mushroom sauce, I will need mushrooms. I use the Bella mushrooms, and I will slice them thin. Diced onion, 3 to 4 garlic cloves, butter or olive oil, 2 teaspoons of white cooking wine, pinch of thyme, salt and pepper, about half a teaspoon of soy sauce, half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and a cup of chicken broth or beef broth or vegetable broth, any broth of your choice. And on the end, when the sauce is ready, I will shred some Parmesan cheese on top and sprinkle the sauce with some fresh parsley. So I have some onion cut up, and I will mince garlic, and then I had cut up mushrooms. But there's one thing I want to mention. If you have dry wild mushrooms, then put hot water over them for at least 2 hours, and then use that juice to put into the sauce. It will be more mushroomy. The wild mushroom would give you so much flavor and aroma. I like to do it a day before with cold water and leave it overnight, especially when I make wild mushroom soup. Oh, it's amazing. Some of those mushrooms are from my country in Poland. My mother-in-law sent it to me. So I use it especially for Christmas. Everything tastes better with those wild mushrooms, if you, of course, love mushrooms. So this will go on a pan. Onions for about 4 minutes, and then minced garlic, and then mushrooms in. And once it cooks together, it will take about maybe 6-8 minutes. Then I can pour the chicken broth and heavy whipping cream and all the spices and have my sauce ready before I take the meatballs out. Because once I take them out, I will put them into that sauce. I want the mushroom flavor to go into the meatballs and leave it there for at least half an hour so everything sinks nicely, all the flavor blends. And I'm telling you, if you love mushrooms, you will love this recipe and that sauce. So onions, garlic, mushrooms, a little bit salt, a little bit pepper, a little bit soy sauce. And those are ready. So now I can put the chicken broth, heavy whipping cream, and I'm making a little bit more sauce. So the ingredients list will be under the video as always. I always have people over. I always have guests over. I never cook just for 2. I always cook for 4 or 6. Okay, and a little bit of that mustard. I love Dijon mustard. Soy sauce, salt and pepper, thyme. So there's one thing that I buy in Polish grocery store, and I didn't see that in any other stores, but European. It is a bouillon, like you have a beef bouillon, chicken bouillon, or vegetable bouillon, and this one is mushroom bouillon. So sometimes I like to use that for those sauces when there is something with mushrooms. It will be more intense. And again, I'm not sure if any other stores have it, but I'm just saying maybe you have European grocery store nearby, so you might just look for it and see if it carries those kind of things. It's useful in many different kinds of cooking, even soups, when you make soups from scratch. And always taste your food before you finish. So I tasted it. I like more black pepper, so I have put some black pepper, like extra. And now about 2 teaspoons of that white cooking wine. And this is almost done. What I need to do, last thing, those cut up mushrooms that I have in here, I will get some in a blender because that will thicken this sauce for me, so I don't have to put that much flour into it to make the sauce thick. I'll use the mushrooms in here. Okay, and only a spoon of flour. I don't need more. I can see bubbles, so it's ready. If you love mushrooms, it will be very, very, very mushroomy. So this dish is for mushroom lovers. Okay, so now the only thing left is shred some Parmesan cheese on top and sprinkle it with fresh parsley. And this sauce is done. So when I boil pasta, I put some salt in water and a bit of olive oil because the olive oil will prevent the pasta from sticking too much on the end. Okay, meatballs are ready. I hear my oven. Perfect timing. Okay, and a little bit of that fresh parsley on top, and the sauce is done. So meatballs are ready, sauce is ready, pasta is done. The only thing I have to do is boil some green beans for it. And I can plate some. Some of the Parmesan cheese on top. And some fresh parsley. And dinner is ready. Well, besides the green beans, those are coming. Thank you for watching. Smacznego, bon appetit, and until next time. The smell. I cannot wait. What I like to do on the end, probably like 10 minutes before, cover it with the cover them with the main ingredient here is, but the main component today, but the main focus today is on meatballs because they go into that sauce, and with that sauce, ooh. Hi again. I have decided to put a little clip together for those of you who are wondering why I have this bump on my hand. And when I move my hand, it becomes bigger or smaller, it moves around. This is a ruptured muscle, and I know it's very visible. I have it because I was in a car accident about 5.5 years ago, and I do not remember the accident. I woke up in a hospital couple days later, and slowly things were coming together. I am very thankful I do not remember it, because I might be afraid of driving, and I feel comfortable driving a car right now. My husband and I, we were just driving on the main street, and someone was coming from a side street, not paying attention to the stop sign, driving pretty fast, straight into our car. The car was damaged, not drivable. I had broken ribs. Some of my backbones were cracked. That was the other thing, the ruptured muscle, and of course, bruises. The worst thing though was I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant with my daughter. And at the time in the hospital, my husband was told by the doctors that my chances of survival are about 10%. And for my daughter, probably zero. So that was the worst thing, the stress. The rest of the pregnancy, I had to sleep on that hospital bed in my own house, not laying down, but kind of sitting, and just worried about how the baby's doing, if the baby's going to be okay or not. Even today, with all the technology, nobody can tell you 100% if you're gonna have a healthy baby after something like this or not. But she is. She is just a bunch of energy, crazy little girl. She cannot sit still. She keeps me on my toes. So again, if you wonder why I'm so skinny and I do eat everything I bake, because I run after her. I run after her morning till night. So she gives me all the exercise I need. I don't need any gym. I have gym at home. If I wanted to fix that muscle, I could. The doctor can sew the muscle together, and it will take about 6 to 8 weeks, me being in a cast. So I'll be exchanging my bump for a scar. And for me, this is not worth it. It doesn't hurt me, it doesn't bother me. There are more important things in life than, little something like this. And I decided it's okay. I can live with that. But again, I know it's visible, and some of you might wonder, like, what is this? So this is the explanation. That's why I have this bump. And it's gonna stay with me until the day I die. I'm happy I'm alive right now because, like I said, 10% chances of survival, and for my baby, zero. I'm thankful I'm alive. I'm pretty healthy. I love the baking, I love the cooking, and I have 2 healthy children. So there's lots to be thankful for. Just wanted to let you know why, and wish you a great day, great weekend, and happy baking. Thank you.